Yeah.
That's what's going
I went
Hey guys, we're getting started. So welcome everyone to JCR Meeting 3.2. Before we start, we're going to see how many sports representatives we have today. Who is here as a sport representative? Can I know what sports you guys are representing?
Wait.
Say two things.
Yeah, keep going.
Netball, tennis, women's football.
So is there anyone else for sports?
Men's rugby.
Fred, are you representing men's rugby?
I can do it.
Oh, he's gone home.
Wait, surely shall we?
Yeah, he's representing men's rugby.
Yeah. But more than anyone to any sports.
Outreach. Or my favorite sports society. Committee. I'm just here for.
I'm here for
Okay. So after checking with the sport representative, we'll just go ahead with the meeting. We'll start with the JCR Treasurer Annual Report. So let's get
Right, I'm going to try and not make this as long as last year, because last year was really long. Yeah, we all want to go home. That's Thea's. Thea's not here yet, so Thea's not doing anything until she finishes her work. Oh, right, okay. So I've written a bit about our, just generally, our database systems. Literally all of them remain the same since last year, although we've currently got a bit of a mishap with the website. I'm told that anime comes up or something, so we'll be getting a new website. So the reclaim system has changed a little bit due to that. But I've got a Google form going and it's working quite well. Event sales are still all done through Square and it works very well, so I've no plans to change it. We've had fantastic events throughout the year financially. I've got a financial summary of all our events on another slide in a second. And I think Thea should be very proud of all the work that she's put into our event budgets. With changes in college this year, we've faced some difficulties in a lack of understanding between the JCR and the college, such as them invoicing us for things that we don't pay for. But we've managed to work through these, to be honest. I think we've got a good relationship now. Our funds have been used well this year, and I think it's in the best interest of our students that we increase these next year. So there'll be more of that on the funds section. But this year we've allocated £4,500 to the participation fund, £3,000 to the event accessibility fund, the gender expression fund, and the students with disabilities fund. And we spent over £25,000 investing directly in our sports and society. So this is a list of the donations we made this year. Some of them I am still waiting on some money from college. Fashion show, they've not told me how much from the drink, so I can't invoice them. But it's irritating to me a bit. But okay, I'll chase it up anyway. But I think yes. Have I put the wrong group?
No. Cuts as a whole just got £10,000 for November.
Huh?
Cuts as a whole got £10,000. This is exactly what the JCR.
This is exactly what the JCR.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Sorry, thanks, man.
Yeah, no, it's alright. That's it. Yeah. So £18,000. I think it's pretty good this year. So far.
That's incredible to watch.
Yay! Okay. We were previously affiliated with the NCBO, which is like the legal charity thing, but we don't use their services. And we have a similar service through the NatWest Mentor, so we decided to get rid of it and save us £200. So we're no longer affiliated with anyone. I don't think I changed this slide. So obviously we're a charity and we lost a lot of money in COVID. So the last few years we've just been trying to build up our reserves again. So we had to put the bill for summer ball being cancelled and things like that. So we're doing very well. We've currently got 142k in our reserves account. So that's a high interest savings account, which is good. Obviously, we're trying to build it up back to the £200,000 that it was before COVID, but I think we're getting there. And ideally, we'll move over about 30k at the end of this year as well. So we're almost back up to where we began. Levies we made. I should have written it down. I can't remember. About 60k we made in levies this year, which obviously is shorter than the 70,000 that we used to make. But again, with increased student involvement and obviously more students that we're getting from the uni, I think we'll be back up to those standards within the next few years. Yeah. I've already talked about it. Okay, I've already talked about that. So this is our events summary. So Freshers Week we did really well. We did oversell Freshers Week tickets, so originally we weren't budgeted to make this amount because I realised that's quite a large amount. But because we had so many additional freshers come in, like we couldn't not sell them a ticket. So that's why. But we've invested that into our other events. So we subsidised Fifth Feast and also Cut Stay with this money, which has made it more accessible for everyone. But I think we've had a really good year. We managed to not make a loss on any of our events. So yeah. So this is our Michaelmas Ball breakdown. You can't really see it very well, but basically the pie charts are percentages of tickets that went towards what? Yeah, that doesn't make sense, but I think that makes sense. Yeah, you can just scroll through these if you want. I'll make the PowerPoint available if people do want to look at it for some reason. Yeah. So I'll say a bit about Cut today. So unfortunately, we didn't manage to get any college contribution for Cut Day this year, which is a bit irritating because they do market it as part of their like Cuts Week sort of thing with the trip to Lindisfarne and stuff. Yeah, I mean, but however, all is not lost. We've managed to make it heavily subsidised. So Thea had an idea to put in £5 from every levy that was bought this year into the Cut Day budget. So we've managed to subsidise that by about £6,000. And then we've also put the money we raised from Feast and Freshers Week back into that. So we managed to keep costs down. So tickets for £12, which I think is very reasonable. It puts us more in line with other colleges. Yeah. This is just our forecasted expenditure for this year. It's not particularly interesting, unless you're interested in it, I suppose. But yeah, that's all my stuff for about this year. So next is about my budget for next year. Okay, so these are all the ones that have more than £500 or more allocated to them from the JCR. So we'll just go through them, and then if everyone here is in agreement, pass it on a general eye. Yeah, I think that's what they did last year. Yeah. Okay. All right. So boat club. This is a significant increase. However, you've had so many more members, and it's definitely needed.
We spent like significantly more money than we budgeted because
because we basically have to pay British Rowing
Yeah.
to have members
Yeah.
of our club and to be able to race like at all. So they have to buy a race license, which is just under 40 quid each, to be able to race at all for the boat club. So it's quite expensive.
Yeah, so that's why it's increased so much with the additional members.
What is it?
But unless anyone's got any questions on the boat club's budget.
Right, is it
Pass
not, is it nice?
on July. Climbing, I'm keeping it the same as last year. I don't think there's anyone from climbing here.
Never is.
Okay, that's fine. And unless anyone has got any questions about climbing. Okay, pass it on the general eye. Cricket. I didn't receive a budget from cricket for this year or next year, but I know they're operating, but they're getting the same because they've not said it. So yeah, I'm gonna pass that on the general eye. Men's football is not varied much from last year, has it? Really? Yeah. So I've not changed this. Any questions? No. Pass this on the general eye. Women's football, I think it's got a bit cheap, is it?
It's gotten more expensive because referee fees have gone up.
Yeah.
And they've also put in the summer cup again,
Oh, okay.
which is something we didn't expect this year.
Oh, right, okay.
And we're currently on loan with footballs because our bag got stolen. It was in a lock cage and somehow it was stolen. We checked the women's football and men's football BU spot and it wasn't there. So yeah, so kindly one of the girls' parents owns a football club. So we're currently using those balls. I don't know if they're as ours to keep, but we at least have them for 1 year. But yeah, it has gone up.
Okay.
But I think we are kind of roughly the same ballpark.
Okay. Unless anyone's got any questions, I'll send it on the general line. Golf. No one from golf there as well. No.
I think they should not have any money. They never come to anything.
They do get more money. I feel like I can't comment on whether or not they should have no money though. Yeah, that's the We'll pass it. Well, I think for now we'll have to keep it regardless of what you think. So
Pass it now, sanction them later.
yeah. Alright, can we pass this on the general eye? Hockey, not received. Budget for hockey. Yeah, I'll keep it the same. Lily said she wasn't chasing anyone, which I think is bad. Alright, can we pass this on to general eye? Netball, I've just kept it the same because is that fine? Yeah. It's the same.
No idea.
Can we pass that on the general eye? Okay, this is all the other sports and societies that are allocated less than £500 or less from the JCR. If there's anything that looks funny to you, please let me know. But I think everything's fine. I've checked many times. So.
Yeah, I thought we got like.
Oh yeah, it's just because I haven't changed the mega thing from last year, so I haven't put it back in.
Yeah.
But you do have.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. It's just like copy and pasted them.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. It's just that we just.
The running one. So they're pay as you go. So usually when they they'll like enter a race, we'll pay half of their race fees.
I just can't read it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no it is. I can't read it either. Right. Can we pass this on a general eye? Okay, so this is sabbatical expenses. Just president's salary, president's accommodation, which hasn't yet been confirmed, but I'm reliably informed that all accommodation is increasing 2% next year. So I think it will be £5,605. But yeah, Winchester's salary and tax, there are external accountants that we pay to do our like PAYE and our pay slips and stuff. And training and support from Winchester's. Just obviously what it says on the tin, basically. You can call them anytime if you have any questions. Do I have to pass all these? Okay. Can we pass the sabbatical expenses on the general eye? Okay, facilities. So we've got the music room and committee budget. We have an additional fund from one of our alumni that will be included later on. But this is just to supplement that. Facilities, put 1,500 because we need to get a few more silent disco headphones because they keep breaking. Gym, I've had a discussion with George and Jake about the need for new equipment in the gym, so hopefully that's something we can look at. So I put visual 1,500 for that, but I don't know what's needed, what's not, but that can be worked upon. Pool table, same as it was last year, £400. Yeah, and stash income, obviously that's an income, so I don't know what I can do with that. Hopefully we're going to go with the new provider next year, so we'll be able to bump that.
Yeah. We'll make more people buy it if it's so hopefully that will be better.
Yeah, right. Can we pass the facilities budget on the general eye? Admin, this is quite boring. So we've just got bank charges, so we're not paying those trustee expenses. Our external trustees' expenses might come down for meetings and things, and any tech that we use to host meetings online and stuff. Independent examination, that's to cover the cost of our external examination for the Charities Commission. So that pretty much stays the same as it has been. Networks mentor, there are policy advice and legal representatives, we can call them anytime. It has increased because we've got an additional policy added on because one of our legal trustees is leaving. So we wanted that as just a buffer. So that has increased from last year, but it's £3,418. Insurance, we have two policies, the directors and officers insurance, and then our like belongings insurance sort of thing. That's I've put a bit more this year. It was 4,544. I'm anticipating it will probably go up a bit, so I've put 4,650 on there. Driving, £100 for that for anyone going to and from events and stuff. Exec stash, it costs £750 this year. But
Costs £750.
yeah,
the shirts are like 40 quid.
What? They're so ugly.
I'm much aware that this is not worth it.
yeah. But
Sorry.
you know, so it's not alright. So I put £800 just because we had two executive members missing and all that. So hopefully that'll cover it. We've also still got executive members missing.
And you can just rewind your stash actually.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
It's got a different number on it.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Website hosting and domain. Obviously, I think we're going to have to get a new website.
I think we will. Because it takes you to like an anime gambling thing.
Yeah.
So that's any other details in it.
Yeah.
Doesn't load.
Yeah, it just doesn't load for me, but we're definitely going to have to get a new website. So
That's really fun.
it was previously £250, but I put it up to £450, so we can get a new website. that hopefully doesn't take you to an anime accounting website. Zero remains the same, still £42 a month. That's our accounting software, so it's pretty essential. Canva stays the same at £100.
Per year.
Huh? Yeah.
When I do use that, that's like 0.10p per person.
Yeah, I know. The Information Commission's office, we have to pay that, so £50. Minor admin, £40. That's like small costs, like any printing and stuff. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about that? No. Good. Can we pass that on the general eye? Okay, committees. Most of these have stayed reasonably similar. Bailey wardrobe staying at £200. It's not particularly well used, but I think if we have a Bailey wardrobe manager, obviously it will be better used. PGM committee have increased by £50 just with inflation. Hopefully there'll be more events next year. International committee I've increased from 400 to 600 at the request of the international rep, because they've had many more events this year, so like the potluck, Chinese New Year, sort of things. The engagement's been very good. So I think it's reasonable for them to really set and hopefully it will continue on to next year. Environment committee, I've kept it the same at £50. Huh? Is it not there?
There's an environment rep, there's no committee.
Why
is that they got abolished because they didn't do anything. Even the
Sorry,
environment.
it's because I can't see the standing orders. Okay, so I'll remove that. Social committee, anything that they need will be raised from Feast. So if they wanted to invest in tech or anything. So I've kept that at 0. Governance committee, 350, stays the same. Welfare committee is increased £100 to 1,800 just because things are more expensive and yeah. And it presumes £500 for coming from like precious week stuff. Comscom remains the same. It's not been particularly well used this year, but I think hopefully the MGRs will be able to put on more events next year. Outreach 250, I think. Oh no, development office first stays the same at 200. Yeah. Outreach committee 250 stays the same. I think some really good some very good fundraising has been done this year with £250. So I think it's reasonable to keep it the same. Yeah. I'm just saying you've done a good job fundraising. Thanks. Exec committee, £100 for cost of training day, like keeping things nice in the exec office. I don't think this has been used this year.
The exec office is literally like my nightmare.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's like a house of horror.
Is this the old one?
No, this is like the new one.
And then library committee, this was previously £500, but I've decreased it to 300 because it's not been well used, and also the refurb from college means that like there's not much decoration needed and things like that. And the books budget comes from WB. So really, yeah, they give us a grant every year. Yeah. So yeah, any questions about the committee's budgets apart from removing the environment?
You can still keep it though, because the environment rep can still use
Okay, alright, I'll change the name. Any questions? No? Can I pass that on the general eye? Awards and events. I've kept the awards amount the same. £800, that's for the DLP things. Team photos for the bar. I've increased this budget and previously £290, but this year we've been using a different company. So it's been a bit
This is wife is ill.
was it? Oh, yeah. But yeah. Formals remains the same. It's for like digs, cards and stuff. The customer essentially I've kept it the same, £1,500. But I think unlike previous years, this will be used to put into cover stay, just to keep ticket costs down, and more in line with other colleges, which we haven't done. Well, we've done it this year, but we haven't done it previously. But any questions?
What's the LB out of interest?
July.
Oh,
Yeah. Right. Who has that one as July? Reliable income. This is just the interest, because it depends on what we get. So levies, I think we're keeping the price the same, 172 to 250 for undergraduates, and 57.50 for students. I think with the increased number of students that we're getting every year, it's reasonable to keep it the same, and then we're still making similar. The composition fee, that's the money we receive from the university, that comes straight to the JCR. They've not said anything this year. Uni haven't. Yeah. So it's not confirmed. This is what we got last year. I am concerned. The reason why they've not said anything is because we might not be getting it, but that's a problem for later on. But yeah, and then historically we get third of our profits, so I put that in there. Does that need to be passed? No. It just depends what we get. Yeah, this is the last one. Right, so funds. We have the JCR Music Fund, which is one of our alumni. It remains the same. It's just what we get in. And this is for any music. Yeah. The participation fund I've increased by £500 to £5,000 due to increased need. I think that things are definitely getting more expensive. The event accessibility fund kept the same, and then the gender extension fund I've increased by £100 just because if more people did want to use it, then the options available to them. And then the disabled students fund I've increased by £300, I think. What's that right? Yeah. Because there'll be a motion later on about changing the scope of the fund, so I think it's necessary with regards to that. Any questions on the fund? Okay, can we pass the funds on the general line? That's it.
We're straight to motion, and just like what Matt just said, our first motion is the DS1 motion. So we take. Yeah, right.
Okay, we have an SWE fund for disability-related costs, studying support students, the central government is regulating this. The funds have not been having used in part due to the so previously it was basically said they were completely like postage, which is pretty limited. Paying for these administration costs is a financial burden on our students with disabilities, and it will encourage disabled students to access available support by bringing issues to the local. It just says it will encourage disabled. The wording of the fund order is currently inconsistent with the positioning as well, so it is students welfare and other funding sources such as DSA, which is Disabled Student Starts from the government, personal independence payments, which is benefits, and the Snow Trust Fund, often move extremely slowly or have really limited scope for what they can cover, meaning students who require help quickly or whose needs change and covering costs that for example, a friend of mine lost her hand halfway through the week. She was surgery and was facing having to pay £2,000 for a one-handed keyboard that she's not a so we're suggesting to increase the to
No, we're not Hollywood, no!
We're not suggesting, we're suggesting to expand the scope to allow for things like GP letters, postage, but also things like printing and assistant technology. We want this to be any one of the things, so not restrictions or things. That is for non-prescribed support that might be required by students. This funding will be recommended and students can apply multiple times.
Is there any questions to the motion? Is there an amendment to the motion? Can we pass the motion on the general eye?
Aye.
So the next motion is the motion about to encourage sports society to send representative to the budget meeting, which is this one. And
Yeah, maybe I can just can't stand up. Basically, me, George, and Maddie spoke about how do we get sports that have to come because they like have a budget that's bigger than £500 to actually come to the meeting. So I'm just going to read out the notes and stuff because I wrote this ages ago. Understanding Order 3.2, all sports and societies are required to send at least one representative to JCR General Meeting 3.2. If the JCR's budgeted contribution to a sports society meets or exceeds £300 per year, one member of that sports society is expected to present at every JCR General Meeting. In practice, the attendance from sports and societies general meetings is and the current standing orders don't clearly outline consequences for non-attendance. So the JCR believes that the attendance at the JCR general meetings allows sports and societies to engage with members and remain informed about wider JCR matters. Sports and SOCs receive significant financial support from the JCR have a responsibility to remain engaged with the democratic processes through which that funding is allocated. Consistent attendance helps ensure transparency, accountability, and effective communication between the sports and societies and the JCR, and ensuring that the concerns and interests of both the JCR and sports and SOCs are discussed and addressed appropriately. Clear expectations of proportionate consequences for non-attendance will help improve engagement while ensuring that JCR funding is participation. Introducing a set consequence will make standing order 3.2 easy to enforce to ensure that all groups receiving substantial fundings are held at the same time. Basically, what we're going to do is if you don't attend the first meet, if like there's like 5 or 6 sports, so it's like climbing, cricket, men's football, men's rugby, hockey, and there's another one. Women's football. I do football. Yeah, maybe it is. And boat club. If they don't come, then there'll be a first warning given by the treasurer or the sports and SOCs chair, and then after the first absence, if they don't then come again, then they're receiving a 10% reduction in their JCR budget allowance for the next year, and for each. I don't know whether to do it for each one, like that's up for debate if people want to do it, but each time they don't come, they get a 10% budget cut. So if you don't come to any any meeting at all all year, you could have your whole budget cut. But I think if you're receiving like 15,000 from the boat club from the JCR, I think you can send at least one exec member to each meeting. You can split it up. There is usually an exec's got like 10 people. You could have one person go to each one. So that's kind of the motion.
is there any question to the motion?
Yeah, we're gonna send out emails to all the societies, or you just gonna let them find out?
Because it should be put on head honchos from sports and SOCs chair. Like that should go out at the beginning of next year. That's why we haven't enforced from this year. It's going to be starting from next year.
Is there any more just
Wait, guys, I can't write my minutes.
I've never had any idea when any JCR meeting has.
so we post all our meeting dates on the JCR elections
And the JCR account.
JCR.
Okay.
So you can follow that and like tell me the exact number. It's all getting posted like at least a week beforehand, so we have time to get it. And we should post like the whole schedule for the whole term beforehand. But is there any more questions?
This is a pretty good question, but like if you're gonna do that, like I do think the way the JCR meetings are put out, like the dates and stuff, I don't think it is 100% clear, like all the time. Like I think maybe it's even like the start of the post. Like I think if you're gonna make every single person, like every person from each one of the society, you need to like shout it at them on the JCR main Instagram that this is what is happening and when, because otherwise people just.
Whose discretion would it be of like as to constitute a valid reason to like is that actually a second? Like what would you constitute as that reason? Well, that's the thing.
But like in an entire exec, they can send anybody. Like if someone can't make it, then you send somebody else. It gives them
There's always going to be an eventuality where there could be a valid reason to go, so it's not outlined.
I think it should be like at the discretion of the sports authority.
Okay. Is there any more questions? If you have a question, please raise your hand. No.
I know you said if I have a question, but this is more of a statement. And I just feel like it's only like 6 sports. So and realistically, I feel like if you're getting money from the JCR, then you should be like actively checking like when the meetings are, not just like waiting for someone to nag you the whole time.
How are you gonna communicate with them that they've got a warning? Is it gonna be on head as well? Are you gonna email them?
I think it's going to be emailed to the president.
Okay, that makes sense.
Is there any more questions to the motion?
Yeah, I think I just say something which everyone which is I feel like a lot of people don't really use Facebook, particularly like the students and stuff, like a lot of WhatsApp and stuff. So like the tendency to actually check Facebook's often why it's like meetings get busy, things like that. So if there's like it's email or like a direct message, like there's a clearer way to communicate. But there is a bit of a disconnect between sports.
So we can get that like. I would be that.
Could the chair not just like email all the sports and stocks, all the sport presidents at the start of every term? No, the chair, because you know when the meetings are. So the chair email the presidents at the start of every term, outlining the dates, and then they have time to like select which person will be coming to which meeting.
Do you want to make it as an amendment?
Yeah, I'd like to make that an amendment.
Yeah, just. Is there any more questions for the motion? Okay. Is there any more questions for the motion? Is there an amendment for this motion? Yeah.
My amendment is that at the start of every term, the JCR chair has to email the presidents of the. Oh, Jesus.
Wait, I finish first.
Has to email the presidents of the sports that are concerned, outlining the dates of the JCR meetings for that term.
Would it not make more sense for the sports and society chair to be informed of the dates and then tell, like, because they're actually the ones who talk to the sports?
Okay,
So
sure.
that the sports and society chair to
I'm
tell.
still dealing with work.
Right.
But also, I don't know the list of sports that have that budget. I never get told about it, but the sports and society chair knows.
Okay.
More info about
I'd like to make a change to my amendment, please. I think that the sports and societies chair should have to email all the presidents of the sports we're talking about at the start of the term with the JCR dates.
Right. Is there any more questions to Cat's amendment? Is there any opposition to Cat's amendment? Can we pass Cat's amendment on the general item? So, I will ask, is there any amendments to the motion to the full sport representative committee secretary?
Do you think it should be 10% every meeting? That's kind of what I want to know. Or do you think it should be 5%? Or do you think it should be like capped at 30% for the entire year? Like that's kind of, that's what we had a question, that's what me and George and Ryan spoke about, like whether it should be capped.
I think it should be capped because like, then it's gonna really negative with the numbers of access and participation. Whereas 30% is like, there's
It just sounds really unreasonable. To be honest. But that's why we brought it to James, like that's why I'm asking questions. I want
Sometimes get like sport and songs because it's out.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to add any amendments on the
So is it going to be capped at 30%?
Is that's going to be an amendment?
I mean, in that case, 5 or just 10%/5%, so it'd be like 6 months.
Do you want to have like
do you want to
more?
make it to
Do you want to be more notice about that one?
Yeah, because then if you can get one.
yeah. Like 10% sounds more scary.
They don't have to know that it's
5% would cripple the boat club
Yeah.
quite substantially.
For a club that has like 10 times as big a budget as everything else, 10% is a lot more than.
Yeah, that's like a grand.
Should we make a different rule for the boat club?
Right, does anyone want to make any amendments to make it from 10% deduction to 5% deduction? Does anyone want to make that amendment? Anyone want to second that?
Or do you just want to cap it at 30? Because
That's two options.
I think if you cap it at 30, it like sounds scary and they might come the next time.
Yeah, but otherwise they'll just, if they miss the first three, then they'll just stop coming because they.
Yeah, but they don't have to know that because they're not going to read fine print. If you don't tell them, but if you don't tell them it's capped at 30, and you just tell them it's slashed 10% each time, and then just the treasurer knows that it's then capped at 30%.
But I-
Does anyone have anything else? Yeah. Okay.
I think you should cap it at 30, but it should go down by 5%.
Yes.
I think, as we're saying, the vote of, I don't imagine could really function with a 10% reduction. So
10% of our
it's,
budget might be weak.
I think it's as we say, just because someone hasn't used this exact one year doesn't mean the participation of everyone in that sport should be kind of
Everyone's
Does anyone else have anything to add to this amendments?
My question is there an alternative to a financial penalty in that instance?
But what would actually make people calm?
I don't know, but if you're saying like everyone else in the society is going to be affected by the fact that some members can't attend, like that, like their subs might have to go up, we wouldn't have to have games in a different way. I don't know what the way is, but it feels unfair that clubs should fall, but like members should have to pay more because the exec useless. That makes sense.
I guess you could change it from being an exec member that has to attend, you could send any member. But the thing is, like, in a lot of them, I think it should be priority to the exec coming, but if you can't send an exec member, then you send like a general member.
I was gonna say, like, can you amend it in a way that, like you know how for the like floodlights, like a reliable member of CUTS has to come and represent and do the high vis jacket stuff. Can you make it that, like, instead of like just an exec member, because I was so frustrated with us on a team and then the exec didn't go effectively when I was going. Can you make it that like a reliable member of the team has to go rather than just like.
How do we quantify what a reliable member of the team?
Well, a reliable member of the
president
team would be
should
someone
be
who went and took responsibility and did it realistically. So like
Lauren's gonna know who's a reliable member of the team and who's.
I'm not the chair exec, but I think that I think it's a reliable member.
Yeah.
But I think it should be an external member from someone that has to be there, like on the exec already. Like, I don't think like you being there because you're outreach chair should also come and represent Wildcats unless you've been specifically
I don't
told.
think there's any harm in that, to be fair.
Unless you've been specifically told that you're representing Wildcats. I don't think it should be you every time that comes and represents Wildcats.
But yeah, I get
I
that.
think it should like take it in turns, otherwise it's always the same thing. And there's like no point in putting it in.
I didn't, if someone's on the exec of something else or an exec of JCR, that feels like they could just do that.
But I just don't think it should be for every time, because sometimes we just like say like Fred's working behind the bar, he counts as like men's rugby, or like Scarlett counts as the bow club and she's behind the bar. Like I don't think that should technically count. Why not?
Anyone else want to add anything to this conversation?
What is it? I think is it not supposed that it's the exec or a nominated general member of that society? So it could be anyone in society. You just have to be told who that is. If the exec are consistently not missing, if one member wants to go, I'll go and we might not do it. We can let that one member do it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
If we leave it vague.
I also do think, I don't think there's that much harm done. Like, say if I was cheering for us, like, I think you're still getting that representation of that sport.
I think it seems, there's two communities if you just, so that, because like, there's no, it'd be frustrating.
Because like during a meeting, it's not like we really call on these people and ask them about the sport. I don't know. They're already in there.
If it's a nominated member of the club every time, in my mind, could that not just become like a punishment for freshers? You just force a fresh who doesn't really know what's going on to turn up every time because they've been nominated. Like, it doesn't feel like that's actually getting to the point of what it's trying to do.
Right, does anyone want to add anything about the representation problem in this motion? That exactly. Does anyone want to add anything? Right. Does anyone want to make this as an amendment? Because like the previous amendment that we were supposed to be talking about is about changing the exactly gap and then we changed the representation. So does anyone want to change the representation from requiring an exact to a nominated member? Does anyone want to do this amendment? Okay. Okay.
We want an exact number, but an exact number can't come, we want a reliable person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Okay. Does anyone want to second that?
I'll second that.
So the amendment is about not only one exact, but can be someone reliable or related. Is there any more questions to this amendment? Is there any opposition to this amendment? Can we pass this amendment on the general line? Let's go back to the section. The original amendment, should we cap the section at 30%, or should we change it to 5%? 5%. Is there any more questions to that amendment? Anyone want to second that amendment? Okay, give it is there any opposition to this amendment of changing sanctions to 5% cap to 30? Can we pass that amendment on general right? What's the amendment so far? Is there any more amendments to this motion? Is there any opposition to this amendment? Can we pass this motion on the general right? So next up we have the official award motion, and we'll have.
Right, so as you all know, we have the scores on the side, so and we added some awards that we should pass on through give them out. So just wanted to get that out. So the first one is a president's vote of thanks. This is going to be an award to one person for their outstanding contributions to JCR in the year from the president directly. I just thought that didn't want that. The second is a sport and leadership award, which is it's in the name really just giving awards and some really good job at making their sport this year. And then the third is a community and charity award. There was some really big charities. Yes, that's the best. Anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any amendments? Right now. Does anyone have right, and the next one, I think, is our last one, is a HLM motion where Tammy Walker, our principals, and I thought it'd be a really nice idea just to give her a HLM JCR just to thank her for everything she's done in the last 9 years for all of us, and I'd like to award her as well. Has anyone got any questions? Anyone got any amendments? Any opposition? Sorry. I've just done it. Yeah.
Right, so that's the motion for today, and we'll have like a quick break for
10.
Okay, we'll do a 10-minute break.
Before we break, have we done a register?
So we will have raffles, and then we'll have presidential report, and then election after the break. And during the break, there's a dance sports outside as well. We have to attend some of our sports. So 10 minutes break from now on.
The only people who are going to send people to JCR because then they can get a 5-1 and increase their budget.
No, it won't. There was a lot of people.
Yeah. How long you are?
Max 10 minutes.
Do I have
You've got time to
I can do your election. I can do your election.
I'll be back in time for the house, don't worry. I'm just very hungry. It just seems like bread.
There also won't be any questions.
Yeah, I think none of the
I know, I actually love
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing it. I really appreciate it. What I did Lily pass on to me
Edward.
about
Yes, she did. Yes. I will do that.
and he's right to speak about something.
To pick up common practices.
No, I'm not actually.
Wait, Charlie, you get this t-shirt from the benches.
Sorry.
Wait, you guys running?
I love things with like.
Yeah, I get. Like, we really need to right
Suppose you remember tickets?
Oh, one person.
Your hair's not cool. Oh, thank you. I'll just send you a link. Yeah, that's so cool. You write in the time. Yeah, I did show it like someone.
And then like, I just think he was like, didn't get to tell so I got my car. Fell down our stairs.
At least there's an option.
In my toilet.
It's a social
In my toilet, and I was like, I had such a calm.
That's what I think.
And then I did some fresh last introduction. I was thinking like, I'm like,
Well, yeah, no, I have to call. Give me access.
and then now I heard about it.
How much are
Things that are embarrassing, it's gonna happen.
I'm very dyslexic. I will thoroughly. Yeah.
You just get rid of it.
Yeah, like mold.
Yeah.
Oh my
As in, like, I got full of that. Oh, I cannot. Huh?
Yeah.
I think I did a tiny bit of like one person with like internal changes and essentially did say it properly. I did it like once, I think like one thing.
Technically, I'm so shit. Yeah, but it's like,
This is really good. I wear. I would still drop.
No. I remember I obviously would like
Merry Christmas.
no, I was like, what can we do? I think it's yeah, we can't.
Yeah. Do you have your updated materials? Do you have your updated materials?
Yeah, I said it to you now. Have you done that?
Yeah, like literally, we went outside.
Give you the printed. I think if you did printed posters.
I think it was just. I also got the other one. I just really like the kids and really that was good. I was forgetting about the whole thing. I didn't think yeah, I didn't
get mine, so I was like,
yeah.
I mean, everything is absolutely. Yeah.
What was it? Revival.
I remember big time being sick or something like that. That's all I was doing.
I'll be definitely.
And then I told my friend she did my husband.
Could you do it?
Yeah.
It's a
I
lot.
was a year after her. And then
JCR, they-
I just need a couple of
it's so sweet that like it's like
It's still 7 years.
yeah.
Yeah,
kind of
somewhere.
yeah. They come
I don't mind, like,
I was on my very.
yeah.
And also I wasn't expecting you to get that, so she was just like digging through her comments and she's forced to find us. Genuinely like that big. It's just like this far from tomorrow. Like you can find it.
Wait, yeah, I'm not for my awards motion, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
Is the award going to be applied like this year as well? Is the award going to be like the passion candidate?
Sorry,
With the award candidate?
we include that all the
Yeah, no, it's like, we just read it up. So it's not a 6, it's end of starting to 7. And then they're like, even so long as it goes like, and then it's right after, and they would be doing like triangle and singing.
Yeah, just wondering, like, I'm not in the panel, because I'm not in the I'm not in the panel.
How long sorry it's been done?
That's what I'm thinking.
And it was the other half of the show. Then they put like
Since National Rap, PGL Online, presented, Bailey Wardrobe, gym manager. Gym manager. I think only it's the state that. No question.
I didn't see it.
I just think.
yeah.
Like, you just confirm she's
Like,
not.
my brother's having like they're still training now.
I have no idea who she is.
If I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna oh, consent, is like, right, really. And that kind of like,
Well, pretty much. You like thinking things like, yeah, I'm studying about
yeah, everything. So, you know, actually, like, Liz,
I didn't see anything that you call
She probably just realised she
my brother's talking about it.
I know my it's not quite good.
Well, it's already been 15 minutes. So.
Oh, yeah.
Mum has some JCR, she hasn't been.
Yeah,
Like, I think you know what it is.
Need my iPad in? Yes, just to read off them. I just sorry, I'm fully sold
Actually, one last year. If there's no, I think my
Oh, so that'll be.
So it's like, if you want to print it, you can, and I'm putting my best way to load it. If you want to.
Yeah, no, sorry, my brain's died from hay fever. Nothing has happened.
How are you, by the way, Phil?
It was a long day. At least, yeah, got a nice little Pepsi, good table to sit on. You get them for free? Like, are you guys paying for it? Or?
I just have the ones that go on the board.
Oh,
Look how cool they are. And I'm like, yeah, look how cool they
I
are.
like that they have names on.
This is the silliest thing.
just look at the top.
That's literally all of them. And then we've got
Oh, this is as well as that days. Oh, I love that.
It's a tradition as well. So they come always wear pants. So everyone, it's a serious thing. Social
Oh,
family.
Grace is committed.
The best one. Yeah.
And then
I really like this.
My friend
Guys,
Oh, you've still got hats with you. No, good. The speech, I presume.
okay, so I had like an hour to do this, and I think with the limited time I had, I think I did a good job, but like no high expectations, please. So, person one, we're gonna go really simple. I got Maryland cookies. Snacks, plain Okay, and the number is, drum roll please. Number 6. Oh, really? Okay, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. We'll do it again. Number 9. 9?
numbers.
Okay, second one, another food item, another cheeky snack. It's actually like a 10 plastics. Okay, drum roll please. Number 3. Oh, silence. Okay, next one, I'm going on a summer vibe. So, latest shots missile, something that is meant to be a water pistol. I don't know how this is a water pistol, but when you find out, please let me know. I have no clue. The winner is drum roll, please. Number 19.
Oh, that's
Okay, the next one is another summer prize. We've got bubbles. And it's 2 in case you want to share with a friend.
no.
I mean, no. Okay.
Sorry.
The winner is drum roll, please. Number 5. The numbers are actually all like the same one.
There are only 20.
Yeah.
What?
And it's sweet and salty together. Drum roll. Number 5. Oh, see, this is weird. I'm telling you. Okay.
She's saying it's weird.
Number 9.
Yeah,
I'm not even doing this. I swear I'm not doing this. Number 1. Woo! There's 2 more. Is that okay? Okay, cute. Sorry. Oh! Summer games. Look at this. Pretty good. Only £3.
Oh wait, I don't know that.
Number 16.
Oh my god.
Should we share?
The last prize is, guys, this is actually ugly as hell, but it's whoever. I don't know what this is. I just thought I had to get it. So whoever gets it, congrats. You run well for the last prize. Number 18.
Cats.
18?
Cats.
Oh yeah, that's me. That's me.
There's no.
It's me. I'm 18.
No. Are you sure?
Yes, wow.
You congrats.
Yay! I trade it in for money.
No, you're kidding.
Can I get the receipt?
You're not doing it. Sorry, that's what the prize is. Woo!
So before we go into election, we'll go through Via will come up with her annual presentation before class.
Right, guys. So what a year it has been. It's been really hard for me to try and get everything all in one document, but I'm really excited to just talk through some of the good things that we've all achieved this year. Starting off with events, we had a really incredible and successful Freshers Week. We ended up with an extra 120 freshers that we found ourselves at the last minute, which was a nice surprise, but we still managed to keep everything on track. We exceeded our goal of 11 purchases without the inclusion of the additional freshers as well, which was fantastic, and still continue to sell beyond that, which I'm really happy with, and thank you to everyone that was involved in that. We had an excellent head prep duo, and we also had increased PGM engagement thanks to Matilda and Louise and all their hard work. Michaelmas Ball was a success, Feast was just as successful, and I'm hoping the Summer Ball tomorrow will be fantastic as well. We've also got Baby Pride happening on Friday, which is a free event and has been supported by the Belonging Fund, and I'm really proud that Cubs are hosting that this year. It's going to be bigger and better than ever, and I'm hoping to really make it a solid event that will continue year after year after year after year. So please come on staff because the tickets are free. And I think the biggest success when it comes to events, even though it hasn't happened yet, has been Cubs Day. I'm really proud of the work that the finance committee have done and the social committee to get Cubs Day a really inclusive price. We've got everything that we had last year and even more on top of that. We've managed to heavily subsidise it to make it inclusive and accessible to everyone. So I'm really happy with that. Overall, we didn't make any losses on any of our events this year, and we've spread all of the profit that we make from our events into the next event, with anything that was left over being used to subsidise Cubs Day. All tickets are cheaper than last year's, proving that we can still make the student experience accessible regardless of inflation and financial pressures. So I did a little bit of maths just to prove that if you were to put together the JCR dinner ticket price for all three balls and the Cubs Day ticket price for a JCR member last year, that would have been £207, and this year we managed to get that down to £179. So I'm really proud of that. A big thank you to Matt with that. Going to the committees, the executive committee has done a great job this year. We've worked a lot on bonding and actually getting to know each other. I think a bit different from other years. We've had quite a mixed group of people that didn't necessarily know each other beforehand or know each other well. So it's been really nice for everyone to really get to know each other. We've been working on JCR spaces. It started off as a challenge this year, but I actually think we've made the most of it. We've been trying to use the spaces that we do have in college and make the most of them to ensure we have proper storage space, and hopefully we'll have a lot more social space that we can use in the future as well. And I think we've just done a lot of long-term planning. Something that I've liked about working with the exec this year has been not just looking at, okay, what's happening this year, but looking at things that could eventually move on in the future or may happen in 1 or 2 years if we keep working on it. And there's been a lot of conversations around that, and I quite like having that with such a big committee and that everyone was really comfortable chipping in on that as well. Social committee have run some amazing events, as I said. Ticket prices are cheaper than ever, and new events have been just as amazing, if not better. GovCom have looked at long-term governance and made an effort to make major changes to elections to make them more fair and more accessible. They run their first open meeting and have worked a lot on transparency, and have also done quite a bit of work to make sure that meetings are as accessible as possible. ComsCom have worked with the college's EDI committee to make sure that collegiate life is as accessible as possible. They've also done lots of fantastic stuff in their individual committees and run some really great events this year. The International Committee have also run great events with really great attendance, and I'm really proud of that. The Finance Committee have worked really hard on summer events and sports and societies finance, and have just worked hard to make sure in really financially challenging times for the university that the common room is running, that it's stable, and that it's not our students that is facing the difficulties that have been caused by the wider setting, which has been fantastic. Outreach Committee have hosted some great events. 12 Days of Outreach was a hit, and there was an outstanding charity dance night, which is very proud of. And the Green Machine Committee have created an Instagram, advertised tech hires, and have had the highest rate of tech hires and tech hire revenue in years, which I'm really happy with. PGM Committee have had a massive rise in participation, as I mentioned earlier, and the murder mystery ball was smashing thanks until date. DevCom have done some outstanding work as well with alumni connections. They've set up Cubs Careers Connections on LinkedIn, and have set a really good foundation for a larger alumni network. Welfare campaigns have done tons of amazing campaigns this year, especially in November, and the amount of money that we raised. It's been fantastic, and the Library Conference does some great work with the library renovation, which we've been waiting for years. So I'm really, really proud of them, and good job to Laura for that as well. And we've had novella and short story collections, which has been really good as well. Sports and societies this year, we've had some really great participation. We've seen a big rise in participation in some of our bigger societies in sports, especially the boat club. I think that the culture has improved. There's definitely still some more work to be done there, but I'm really proud of the people and the captains that have been championing good culture within the sports and societies in our JCR. There's definitely been an improvement in the relationship between JCR officers and sports and societies presidents, and I'm excited to see that improve in the future as well. And a big thanks to George for that. And there's been some outstanding fundraising work done by our sports and societies this year. JCR meetings and engagement. I'm very happy with fresher engagement this year. We have a fresher on almost every committee this year, which has been really great. Attendance in Brooks Bar meetings has improved from in the past. Meeting time efficiency has improved. There's been some improvement in, there could be more improvements in engagement in the future. However, I'm quite proud of the way that we've done this year. And we definitely, as I mentioned earlier, we've made a real effort to ensure meetings are as accessible as possible, but there's still some more work to be done. The President's Committee, I've had the look of chairing it this year. It's definitely been a weird year to exist as a common room, and that's not just something that we felt here at Clubs, but we felt across the university, with the PVC being restructured, which is basically the university's governance of colleges in general. It's meant that we've had way less representation in the forum. We almost fall to the bottom of the food chain when it comes to university decisions. However, I'd like to say that we have put up a good fight, and I'm really proud of it. Our biggest wins are our challenge against the university's cuts to the Durham University bursary scheme. We managed to push them into getting rid of their cuts to the participation bursaries. There's still some fine lines between what bursaries are and aren't included. However, we've managed to reduce the amount of bursaries that they were going to reduce, and we're going to continue to push until that's, which I'm really happy with. We've done a lot of work around catering and formals at the beginning of this year. Every college had to share with another college, and they had to share a head chef, and you had to choose between whenever they were going to have their formals based on what the other college was doing. We've managed to work in lots of work with the people highest up in the university when it comes to catering to get rid of that. Unfortunately, we will still be limited to 5 formals per term. However, we have a lot more flexibility now on our own head chef and still working press farm. And we've got ourselves involved in the university strategy next year. The university will be taking on their new strategy, and this year they're currently in the process of writing it. The senior leadership team of the university were really opposed to having common room presidents involved in that. They didn't think that we were the right people to be having them conversations, but we fought and we managed to get in that room. So I'm most proud of that, because you know that whatever is going to happen next year, we've got common room presidents have got your best interests at heart, and you know that that's been represented. So I'm really proud of that. IndieCom, which is independent committee, we've had a really solid IndieCom this year, and a lot of people that really know what they're talking about, and really care about common rooms and care about independence. We've done a lot of work on long-term sustainability. It's definitely a very strange time to be independent. The university are a big fan of independence, and we've definitely got a really good backup plan in case anything ever goes wrong. And we've been working on a report with the Students' Union as well in support of independent group presidents. In terms of internal changes this year, it affected us quite a bit. We've had a lot of internal change in college. We had a new vice principal, a new com, who's Phil, who's the head of health and safety, and 5 new chefs throughout the year, which has been a bit crazy to keep up with. However, we've done a really good job, I think, at building a relationship with them, helping them to understand how it is that we run as an independent common room, and kind of finding mediums with them and working out how we do things together. And we've got a lot more internal changes to come. We've got a new principal with Matthew Mills. He's stepping up to become principal, and we'll have a new vice principal incoming as well pretty soon. There's been a change structure to the tech manager role. The tech manager now oversees a lot more roles, including the music rep, the gym manager, and there's been a change in structure for the SU and the develop rep role as well. In terms of college finance, we received 6k in our share of bar profits this year, which is was a shock, but it's partially been used to subsidise cook stay, which is really nice because it just goes straight back into the students. And college have heavily subsidised a lot of purchases for the lab this year as well. Tech facilities, we've got a lot of new tech. We've got a new lighting machine, which is pretty cool, and we've got a new stage, so no more carrying around off the stage, which is exciting. In terms of the future, the JCR is in the best financial position that it's been in for years. we can now really heavily subsidise things to make the students' experience way more accessible, as proven by Say this year. And that's just going to go above and beyond year after year after year. And I'm really happy with that because that's what the JCR exists for. I think there's massive things coming soon. I can see a future with more paid positions, students earn more money. I can see more money being put into sports and societies, making source for students, and even owning something for them, like gazebos, photo booths, etc. That would just make events and life so much easier. I can definitely see these things happening in the next few years. And let me tell you, the JCR is in such good hands. I know that Lauren, Kat and Maddie are going to be the dream team next year, and that when they're here giving their speech this time next year, it's going to be above and beyond what I can say today. And just an overview on this year, I'm very proud of this year. It might not have been the perfect year, but considering the challenges that the Broad University have put upon us, I think we've done a really good job at not just keeping things steady, but actually exceeding expectations. I think that everyone's done a fantastic job this year, and that the JCR is moving in a great direction towards a very bright future. Thank you so much, Louise, Maddie, Lily, George, Charlie, Cora, Maddie, Jasper, Chloe, Molly, Edward, Cindy, Kat, and last but certainly not least, my amazing successor, Lauren. Thank you, Cus, for trusting me and helping me bring my dream for this community to life.
That's it.
We have, well, I'll try and make this quick, and everyone can go home. We have 3 method ones running, 2 contested, both of which have a candidate in absentia, and then 1 uncontested. So, yeah, there won't be many questions today, so that's faster. We'll start with alumni observer, so which means 2 candidates, Will and Rosie, who's not here. We'll start with Will, and then Rosie has a video as will come up. But, yeah.
Okay, when does it start? Everyone just say before I start, I've got a terrible bout of hay fever, so I haven't quite stated today, so do excuse me what's happening today. Now, as everyone knows, I came here from Warwick thinking, alright, uni's been a bit useless last year, let's see how this goes this time. And ever since getting to Cuffs, it's been looking amazing. You know, regular summer societies with rowing, garden sports, all the woodcraft stuff, and it's been a really brilliant time at the college. You're getting involved with the families and just meeting everyone. So I thought, right, I may be buggering off on the overall next year, but I'll try and give back if I can. And the one role that stood out to me was Alumni and Development Officer. As throughout my time at university, both at Warwick and both here, a lot of my roles have been involving chatting, sometimes to literally alumni at Warwick. I was at one point head of the staff student liaison committee for the language department, so I was having to deal with alumni donations, setting up a brand new equivalent to the SU for all the language societies and dealing with getting funding and everything. And then focusing mainly on the development of students in that role. And I thought with Cuffs, I had quite a few ideas to try and just help everyone have as good a time as I have, and hopefully even better. So the first day's idea, so I was chatting to some friends at Chad's, it turns out we used to have this, is to look at potentially recreating a sort of academic tutor system for Cuffs. So I'm going to chat with Lydia and Ross, and there is some feasibility to this. We talked with the academic departments and see if each of them would be willing, and from what I was chatting to my tutors and friends, they seem to be actually, yes, they would send someone over to act as a sort of representative for departments for the students to go to for help about essays, for exams, general advice on their academic department, helps with dissertations, and just any question they have. It would be someone with the college to go and ask, because some departments, depending, can be quite useless at support for stuff. So having someone in college who would be able to help you out, someone who you'd know a place to go to, could be really nice. And doing some events like Meet Your Tutor and Freshers Week and other weeks and all sorts of stuff. My second idea would be, and I was having a chat with Edward about this, is to try and utilise the LinkedIn that's often been done to try and do a bit more of the alumni. First, try and maybe look at setting up a mentorship scheme. Try and match students with someone who look like they're willing, of course. Try and learn about their careers, fields, to do some talks on banking, finance, law, etc. Get them in to come and give talks for students, and try and link them with students so you can have some sort of development program for further careers outside of college when they graduate. And the main thing with the alumni would be, and I have been having a chat with college to see this would actually work, is to maybe look at, so I've got family friends at Oxford, and what a lot of their colleges do is they're called sort of friends of the college. where you sort of get all previous alumni and parents or students trying to get everyone involved. And publish October magazine, say, look, this is initiative we've got for Rain Club, for example, societies, what JCR is going out, what college wants to do. Try and persuade them people are willing to give money. And what they do is sort of have, so while saying what initiative you've got, say, you can donate, let's say, between 5 to 20 quid a year, for example, which always gets a living good uptake because it's small amounts of money. Have we never got that? Hey, that is. Yeah. Hey, got right. College families, parents' day, picnic things, and other stuff for college families to be done. And that's it.
Yeah. As we have someone running an event, there will be no questions. So if I can get someone on first Rosie to get us up. We'll do that next.
So 3 minutes, there's so much. What?
There are no questions.
We don't see people read the comments. Do you mind if I just ask you about one thing else we want to do next year?
Sorry.
Do you mind if I just ask about one I don't have for next year to see if you think it would work for next year? So there's one thing we sort of use that Warwick work on, it's a thing called Unity, I don't know if you've heard of it. So this brilliant, I can't remember if it's free or cost basically nothing, system you can use where people can sort of click on my form, they can suggest questions, you can have, and then people can respond to it. So I would say, oh, I feel the JCR could do X and Z for society, or this something with the dining was a problem, could we fix it? But everyone else can then see what they've got, convince this. It's an easy way to get feedback, great responses to it, and a very easy way to manage and shift through everything.
Could you send me a link?
Yeah, I'll send you a link to the website because I think bloody good for the JCR to get done.
I think it's what we need.
Yeah, because it's just a very easy way to put everything in one place.
Is it on YouTube?
Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Studying one of the languages, so I'm on my year abroad at the moment, which is why I'm not hosting in person. I was the Alumni and Development Officer last year, and I'm now running for that position again for next year. So my vision for the future for CUS development, if I'm elected, centres around the importance of a pragmatic approach, so running as many events as possible within our means. So I would want to use the budget more effectively by focusing on smaller but more frequent and more regular events that will create meaningful development opportunities for JCR members. This would include running multiple free headshot events across the year and also inviting individual alumni speakers from popular career sectors like law and finance to come and hold events as well. Now, I think the issue with development is the engagement problem, where students don't want to attend online events and alumni struggle to attend in-person events. So one of the ways that I would tackle this problem would be to use the budget to subsidise travel, either partly or in full, to incentivise speakers to attend in person. I think this is really important because, as we know from previous events like these, in-person events are always better attended. I also think that making sure there is a regular event schedule in place before the start of the year and changing the way that we advertise to focus on advertising through posters in college spaces, for example, would be really beneficial because students aren't looking for opportunities that they don't know exist. So I think being able to say from Freshers Week, hey, there's a free headshot event in week 4 and we're going to have someone from the law sector come speak in week 8 would really boost student engagement. This also leads me to my second focus if I were to be elected, which is communication. I think there's a lot of people in the room when it comes to alumni. You have college, you've got the Alumni Association, the PGM, JCR trustees. And so I think it's really important to start organising regular meetings, especially before term starts, to improve planning for alumni events. So for example, I'd want to look at hosting an alumni weekend during term time in the hopes that we could kind of collaborate directly with college and the Alumni Association to have some sort of careers crossover or networking event. I also think it's really important to improve communication with the alumni community more generally, so making sure that they know who the development officer is as well by reaching out via LinkedIn, and also things like attending the Alumni Association meetings are really important to just improve that relationship. So I'd also want to collaborate more with other committees in the JCR to help integrate development a little bit more and boost engagement for our events. But I also would like to work with university-wide student societies too, such as Law Society, and I think particularly the 93% Club. They have a really large alumni network already. So I think that being able to collaborate with them, seeing if they want to host an event in CUS maybe, would be really beneficial for students too. So why me? And why me again?
I've held the role before. I think I've got the right experience in the JCR, but also just in life. And I think overall, I'm just really passionate about CAS and just making sure that development opportunities can be as accessible as possible. So thank you so much for listening, and see you soon.
Right. So that is everything for Alumni Dev Officer. As always, the election for that will open at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So our next one by the agenda is Fashion Show Friends, which we have one candidate. Woo!
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Jess, and I'm running for the Fashion Show President. So at its heart, CAS Fashion Show for me isn't really about the show itself. It's more about the charity and what's involved, and especially the community that's been built around it. So over the last 2 years, I've held the roles of Vice President this year, and I was Sponsorship Director last year. And those roles have kind of given me a wealth of experience for every stage of the process, kind of junior roles and then more senior roles. And within those roles, I worked directly with them to help secure our largest donation ever, which is going to be over £20,000. We've redesigned the communication system through WhatsApp. I supported the move to a new venue, which made it cheaper and more efficient. I pioneered running our own bar, which helped kind of double our profits for charity. And I pushed for a 2-night show, as well as advocating for diversity of models, which is, I think, a really important thing for any society, but especially the fashion show. So last year we worked with Eating Stressful Peace, which is a charity close to me. I think having diversity of models was such an important thing. So yeah, if I was elected, I really want to build on what was achieved last year and in the year before. I want a fashion show that's creative, organised, but most importantly, community and charity-led. I want better support systems for members. I want stronger links with businesses, and alumni is a big thing I really want to push for. So working with the alumni development team and within college to really boost donations and help them do kind of fashion-related things. And I also just want people to feel proud to be on the exec and part of the community that's involved. I want people to be modelling, fundraising, or cheering on from the sidelines, and really just feeling like it's something for everyone, instead of kind of being a selective thing where when people audition, they say, or we say, well, actually someone's full of the role, and instead you say, okay, do this, be an ambassador, do that. And most importantly, I really want to keep charity at the centre. I think that's the driving force. For me, I don't think it's about ego, this role. I think it's about really championing charity. So, everything.
That's a round of applause. You are allowed questions. You don't have to phone if you're running the centre. So do we have any questions? Liam?
I actually last year a lot of people were quite scared of auditions and they more actually left auditions there and others. So how would you make the casting process a little bit more easier or more approachable for audiences?
Yeah, so I think first of all it starts with Freshers Week and being open, warm, friendly, attending freshers fairs and kind of getting involved with that. And then I think having a panel of people at the auditions, keeping it small, maybe 1 or 2 people, makes it a less daunting experience. And I was also thinking for auditions, maybe having an example audition filmed so people can just see, because actually you have to do 2 minutes in reality.
Like so like last show this year was like really fun. But would you have any ideas for like any kind of like celebration? Like I know in the past they've had a fashion show formal, but I don't think that's been like very recently. But in the past they've had like a fashion show formal. Like, do you have any ideas for an event that you would do like kind of maybe like third term or after the fashion show is done to like celebrate?
Yeah, definitely. I think this year we did want to fall that I think there's JCR restrictions and stuff on doing that. But I think I'd like to have like a big after party or kind of maybe an after the tea side party kind of vibe. Yeah.
So I just said charity is like the centre of the fashion show, and I know like watching behind the scenes like the selection process of the charity last year. Would you keep the same charity, or are you looking at wanting to fundraise for a different charity? And how are you looking about choosing a charity? Is that going to be like a decision just for you and your VPs, or would you open up more to
I think it could be a very open decision. I think everyone's charities close to their heart, but I think for me, I'd always wanted to be a local charity. I definitely throw Media Me in the mix again, so I'm a great charity, it would be great to work with. But I mean, there's lots of causes you can support, so definitely.
That's all the questions. Then round of applause. Let me say again, voting will open at 10 AM tomorrow. I will mention though, as cust.com is down, cust.com/vote, you can still access the UDS, but you'll need a different link. I'll make sure to put it out on the JCR Elections Insta before voting opens so that people running can get the right link to post on their stories and stuff. Next, we'll do student trustee. We have two candidates for this, Liam and Edward. Again, Edward's not here, so we won't have any questions, but can I invite Liam up to do the test?
Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Liam Jones, and I'm standing to one of your student trustees. I would like to talk a bit about my approach to this election, as well as my experience. If elected, there are 3 principles that would guide my approach. Firstly, accountability. The JCR is entrusted with significant responsibilities, resources, and opportunities. Student trustees play an important role in ensuring that decisions are made responsibly and that elected officers are supported in delivering what's best for the society. Good governance isn't about creating obstacles or interfering with student initiatives. It's about asking the right questions, providing constructive oversight for decisions that affect us all. Secondly, transparency. Students deserve to understand how important decisions are made and why they are made, whether that's discussing finances, strategic priorities, or major projects. Clear communication is what goes first. As trustee, I would support openness and ensure that members feel informed and confident about the direction of the JCR. Thirdly, representation. As we all know, CUFS is home to a very diverse community of students with different experiences, interests, and of course, priorities. A trustee should be able to listen carefully, consider different viewpoints, and make balanced decisions that reflect the interests of the wider student body. Through my experience from the fashion show, I would say that I know the student body and CUFS inside and out. In terms of my experience, I've worked directly with the JCR throughout this past academic year from summer, including engagement with the financial committee, the presidential committee, and collaboration with other areas of the society, such as the bar. I've also worked with external parties, such as our chosen charity for the fashion show this year. And through these experiences, I have developed a strong understanding of how different parts of CUFS operate and how decisions are made across the organisation. As president of the 2026 fashion show, I was responsible for overseeing a large team of around 30 exec and 50, 40 models, and making significant financial decisions through the planning and delivery of the event. So those decisions ultimately contribute to the show becoming the most profitable for charity fashion show in the history of the society. Next year, I will be spending my year abroad in Senegal and in Egypt, where I believe my fresh perspective from a new cultural environment will help me within this role. I also have further experience within finance, having interned for an East African publishing company in the financial area, and also for Barclays Bank, where I've learned skills that will inevitably help me if I were to be elected for this role. Thank you so much, and I know there's no questions. Thank
you. Edward didn't send in a video, but he does have a Google Doc our recruiting. So, yeah.
Okay. Hello, I'm Edward, a second year politics student, and I'm running for student trustee. Having wrongly not been involved much with the JCR during my first year, I made the great choice of prepping. Through the late nights and the rain outside Jimmy's, long spells dressed as a tiger and learning to wobble, I discovered what a great community the JCR is and realised the work, dedication and care that is put into it. I realised I wanted to give back. Spending the last year as an alumni and developmental officer, putting on college family events, including our first ever weddings, making endless jobs and ops roundup on Canva, and working on projects for the Alumni Association, I learned why people put in so much dedication and care into the JCR. This is why I want to be your student trustee, to protect the CUS community from any challenges that prevent students from having a chance to take part. One of the biggest challenges facing the JCR and the wider student experience is rising costs. As the financial burden of having a university experience increases, students are losing the chance to take part in university life, particularly and unfairly for those from backgrounds, which means they have to be more budget conscious. Having heard firsthand friends call the JCR a rip-off and a waste of money, it risks being a contributor to this problem. This is something I want to change. Not only do I believe the JCR should stand for students against the university or otherwise, most importantly should be seen as setting the example of a community accessible to all, looking to remove rather than create any done on this as a trustee. Sorry. Over the past year, in my role of alumni developmental officer, I have been looking for ways to introduce more structured methods of alumni fundraising to alleviate the financial barriers for students. I would like to do the same in the role of student trustee. With the departure of trustee Tom Coker, who had been looking at similar, there is now a gap on the board of trustees in this area which I would like to fill. As well as ensuring students are able to engage with JCR now, I want to ensure JCR is there for students' wellness in the future. Making sure we are as robust and sustainable as possible is what I believe is the most important aspect of this role. One important factor of this is our independence as JCR. I am committed to putting in the necessary steps to ensure we have an independent functioning JCR for years to come. Included in this is an increased visibility for students are doing, where possible, and how the JCR functions overall for the exec, JCR officers, and the wider community. I have to use this role as a conduit, not only to offer a student perspective to the external trustees, but also to make the wider community aware of what the trustees are doing for you. Thank you for listening.
So, although there are 2 student trustee roles up for election, only one of them can be on a year abroad or placement, which means unfortunately only one of Liam or Edward will be elected, so this is a contested election. Other than that, I think I'll get on to the next 2, so round of applause for all the method ones. We'll start with the one that I use. So, can everyone please close their eyes?
My charge is stuck. My charge is stuck. So sorry, this is actually awful. Well, do you want to cook the camera?
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I didn't realise it's touch screen.
It's okay, I'll do it.
How'd you get a touch screen laptop? That's pretty cool. What brand is this?
Samsung.
Yeah, so.
Samsung. It's okay, I've got it.
Okay.
Yeah, no one here has plans for it.
Right, I actually don't think we can run these because we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that can vote.
Does anyone have a plan to run for any of the other method 2s?
But like assistant international.
Because an international rep is both caucus and contested currently.
Yeah. Last time we did it.
We can run that one.
Because me, Chloe, and David get third. That's what happened last time as well.
Mm-hmm. Right, so let's run it.
I can opt out though. I can opt out.
So yeah, there are 2 candidates who both sent in hosts for international rep. Yeah. So then you have access to one. Do you want to read one now? Yeah. I think my phone's dead, so I can't actually get anything on Messenger. I'll read the second one. This is sorry, it's been everything. The photos have made everything a bit today.
So, hello everyone, my name is Anna. I am from China and I'm a first year business and management student. Over the past year, I've served on the international committee, which has given me valuable insight into the needs of international students and how our events are organized. One challenge I've noticed is that many of our events have lower attendance than they deserve. If elected, I will focus on improving how we promote these events. For example, we can increase visibility by putting up more posters in places where students spend a lot of time, such as Brooks House and around the Bailey. I also believe we should make better use of social media. As a Chinese student myself, I know that many Chinese students are very active on RedNote, and I would like to explore creating an official account to promote events and share updates, helping us reach students who may not engage with our current communication channels. I want to help build a more connected and engaged international community, and I will be very grateful for the vote. Thank you.
I'll read the next candidates. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Aidan. I'm a law student entering my third year. As an international student in the Caribbean, I understand much of the excitement and the challenges that come with study. Over the past 2 years, I've been actively involved in the international committee, helping with events, supporting the committee, and hoping to make us an even better place for all students. Through that experience, I've seen how important it is for international students to feel welcome, supported, and fully integrated into life at CAS, not just during Freshers Week, but throughout the entire year. I believe the International Committee is extremely important in facilitating international and home students in building friendships, celebrating different cultures, and finding support when needed. So, if chosen, I'll bring my experience and genuine commitment to ensuring that international exchange students best enjoy their time in Durham class. I want to help support the amazing plans offered by the International Rep and other committee members, as well as my own, to continue making CAS a place where students from all backgrounds can thrive. I'd really appreciate your support, and I hope to do my best as your assistant international rep if elected. Thank you. Can everyone close their eyes? This is a caucus vote, so if you do not feel represented by this role, then please don't vote for it. So can everyone, Anna, there you go. Can you please raise your hand if you'd like to vote for Anna? Can everyone please lower their hands? Can you please raise your hand if you'd like to vote for Aidan? Can everyone please lower their hands? Can everyone please open their eyes? Aidan, our new assistant international rep.
Can someone send me the hospital later?
Yeah. No one else here was running for anything else other than Hannah, right?
Well, nobody can run for PA.
Can I ask which one?
I'm doing placement rep.
Do you want to come to your house? It's not the way I'm supposed to. No, it's not. You can pick this.
I thought you were bored.
They're both.
I thought one of them was bored. No, they're both left for 2 now.
I'm Hannah, and I'm going on a placement next year to Canada, and so I would love to be placement year rep. There's a lot I wish I'd known at the start of applying, so my focus would be on making placement seem much more approachable and transparent. I focus on things like the process and the timeline, where and what people could do, as well as the funding that they can get. I'd also love to show what our current cast members are up to, doing their day-to-day lives, and also how they got their placements to help more people when they are applying. And I'd also love to keep everyone connected whilst they're away, doing check-ins with people on placements or year out, and making sure especially they know the welfare that's available to them. I'd also love to run a fun social when we all get back. And yeah, I'd love to continue contributing to the JCR while I'm away.
You can do it questions, because technically there is no one running attention. So questions? No questions.
No. Where did you say you were doing your year out?
Canada.
Isn't it UK placement rep?
UK placement rep after the first election can be opened to non-placement students. And so in this case, Hannah is allowed to apply, and it also means we have one. So it's allowed, yes.
Okay. Sorry.
The role is called UK placement rep, but after the first election, we open it up to.
You can't change it to just placement rep.
Yeah, we can change the name.
I don't mind. That's a bit of a
Just double check. No one else wants to run for anything that they do.
Wait, do we need to?
I'm not here next.
Baby wardrobe.
PGMVP. I'll read them out in case anyone has a like fancy. PGMVP. Oh, sorry, does everyone close their eyes?
Wait, can I vote for myself or no?
No. You should technically be out the room. There are two options. We go for nominations, vote for Hannah. Can you please raise your hand if you'd like to vote for Hannah? Can everyone please lower their hands? Can everyone please raise their hands if they'd like to vote for Ron? Can everyone please lower their hands? Can everyone please open their eyes? Hannah, congratulations. Sorry about that. I will continue reading out the method too if anyone has. Like, PGM VP, PGM Treasurer, PG Alumni Association Rep, Bailey Wardrobe Manager, and Gym Manager.
You could be gym manager for far.
Yeah.
Some inductions on Zoom.
Yeah. Well, that is everything.
Woo!
Thank you.
So I think we can adjourn the meeting.
Yeah. Thank you, Jen.
Maybe I sent the link to Unity on.
Oh, thank you so much.